Little Emma was only 2 years old when everything went wrong. She and her father were walking through the fields near their small town that afternoon, miles from any major hospital, enjoying what should have been an ordinary day. The sun was warm, the grass was tall, and Emma's small hand was wrapped trustingly in her father's. That's when the rattlesnake struck. Her dad rushed her to the local emergency room, panic flooding his chest as he carried his crying daughter through the doors. His heart was pounding. His hands were shaking. The bite marks were clear on her tiny leg, already beginning to swell. But the doctor there barely looked concerned. He glanced at the wound, checked Emma's vitals quickly, and shrugged. She probably didn't get much venom, he said casually, as if discussing a minor scrape. She'll be fine. He didn't give Emma the anti-venom sitting right there in their own hospital, readily available, and waiting for exactly this kind of emergency. Instead of calling for an emergency helicopter that could have transported her to a trauma center in minutes, he sent them by ambulance. Hours of winding country roads stretched ahead. Emma's father sat in the back, holding his daughter's small hand, watching her face grow paler with each passing mile. By the time Emma arrived at the city hospital where I worked, she was barely breathing. Her little body was shutting down, system by system. Her blood pressure had dropped dangerously low. Her organs were failing. We did everything we could, working frantically to save her. We gave her the anti-venom she should have received hours earlier. We pumped fluids in her tiny veins. We fought with every tool and technique we had, but it was too late. The venom had spread too far, done too much damage to her small body. The window of opportunity had closed long before she reached us. Emma didn't make it. I still can't understand it. When a toddler gets bitten by a rattlesnake, you assume the worst. You treat it as a life-threatening emergency because that's exactly what it is. You give the anti-venom immediately, without hesitation. You don't gamble with a child's life based on a guess or a hunch. That's basic emergency medicine. That's what we're trained to do. That's what should have happened. One simple decision. One terrible assumption. One doctor who thought he knew better than protocol. And a little girl paid the ultimate price. I think about Emma's father constantly. I think about how he trusted that first doctor to save his daughter. How he sat in that ambulance, probably reassuring Emma that everything would be okay, that the doctors would fix her, never knowing that precious time was slipping away. I think about the moment we had to tell him we couldn't save her. The way his face crumbled. The sound of his grief filling our emergency room. No parent should ever have to experience that. No parent should ever lose their child to something so preventable. Some mistakes in medicine are honest errors. We're human. We work with incomplete information, under pressure, making split-second decisions. Sometimes despite our best efforts and intentions, things go wrong. I understand that. I've lived that. But this wasn't one of those cases. This was negligence, pure and simple. This was a doctor ignoring established protocols, dismissing clear danger signs, and making assumptions that no emergency physician should ever make. And it cost Emma everything. It cost her father his daughter. It cost a family their future together. Emma should be 4 years old now. She should be starting preschool, learning to write her name, making friends, driving her parents crazy with endless questions. Instead, her father visits a grave. All because one doctor didn't take a rattlesnake bite seriously enough. All because someone decided that convenience mattered more than caution. All because the anti-venom that could have saved her life sat and used on a shelf while she was loaded into an ambulance for a journey she would never complete. I became a doctor to save lives. Most days I do. But Emma's case reminds me that sometimes the greatest harm comes not from what we do, but from what we fail to do.